State Investment and Economic Forum. We want investment, we want tourism, but why? We want it because we want to create jobs, and we want to give people on the ground, whoever you might be, the opportunity to craft their own future. Now, in order to do this, people need to be trained up. They need to have the skill sets now that will allow them to take advantage of anything you put on the ground in the future. They need training. They need those things that can lift their skill sets. If any of you could please talk about what is being done and what needs to be done in order to prepare Bayelsans for this leisure and hospitable future that we've been talking about.
Hello. The state government has just opened an Institute of Tourism and Hospitality, an international standard Institute of Tourism and Hospitality, to train our own people so that they will be well equipped to work in the tourism industry, which we hope will really, really grow and become the main source of revenue in the state in the future. Then I'd like to add to what the Kenyan ambassador said about security. I'd like to say a bit about what we've done and where I think we are and where we're going to. I would want to encourage people that Bayelsa is quite safe. There's a lot of security infrastructure, investment in the security infrastructure. Tourism development is an industry of industries. And honestly, security is a vital aspect of it. And I think that was recognized very early by this government. And there has been a lot of investment in security infrastructure. And that's why the town is as safe as it is today. And so that's a big encouragement. Whatever investments you have are perfectly safe here. And you're very welcome to come invest.
Wonderful. Does anybody else want to take that? We're talking about training the Bayelsans of the future to take control of this sector.
The hospitality business is big business. Consider between Italy and Spain, in 2013, about 100 million visitors entered those countries. So look at an average spend of $1,000 per person. The figures are unimaginable. So hospitality and tourism is bigger than oil and gas. Accordingly, capacity for those who will be involved in that industry is necessary. So what happens quickly? Capacity building at the level of stewards and cooks, at the level of those who even be at the reception in our hotels and in our tourist sites. It's key for every participant in the hospitality business, in the tourism environment, to be trained. I'm happy to remark that the Tourism Institute has started, and I also know the governor has done something about training caterers and hotel staff, because as these hotels are coming up, we must train people to be ready to receive international guests, not those who resent guests from coming. That little example, that experience that the tourist sees at the hotel or that he encounters either encourages him to come or drives him away. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Laibe. That would be the last thought. I know that you want to say something, you also want to say something, but in the interest of time, we'll have to end what has been an amazing session, isn't it? Look at that. We could continue for another hour, Shah. So thank you very much. Give them a round of applause. Now, I'm going to ask you to stay in your seats because I have an important announcement to make, and I think it would be better for you just to stay there. This forum isn't your average forum. It isn't a talk shop. It's an opportunity to create concrete partnerships. So it gives me great pleasure to announce that Bayelsa is going to sign a formal media partnership between Channels Television, Silverbird Television, and AIT and NTA. So ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the official signing of this media partnership. And There will be many more signings coming up as well. So ladies and gentlemen, the formal signing of the media partnership between Channels Television, Silverbird TV, AIT and NTA. Thank you. Praise. Hello.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, just like you heard, the Bayelsa state government will be signing a media partnership with 4 leading television stations in Nigeria with a view to giving adequate publicity to the activities of the government, especially now that Bayelsa has become a foremost investment destination, not just for Nigeria, Africa, and of course the world. So I will, with all due respect, at this point invite the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Bayelsa State, the Secretary to Government of Bayelsa State, as well as the General Manager, Operations of Channels, Kayode Akintemi, to step forward for that aspect of the ceremony. I'd also like to invite the General Manager, NTA Yanagwa Station, to step forward to represent NTA in signing the partnership agreement with the Bayelsa state government. You are already aware that Bayelsa is becoming the cynosure of all eyes. Bayelsa hosts an event of international standard every month, and there is the need to give this event adequate publicity so that the rest of the world will get to appreciate the efforts of the government and, of course, join in the current efforts at moving the state to greater heights. As you can see, all the key players are seated, and shortly they'll be putting pen to paper. Ben Murray Bruce of the Silverbird Group, who is a son of the soil, a proud one for that matter, is already seated. This in itself is another very historic event. Because never in our history have we had a program like this, a media partnership with the 4 leading television stations in our country.